Hello and welcome you crazy people, my name is Jay and there's just going to be a quick video primarily because I'm working from home and I'm on my dinner and I need to, be back in like 10 minutes, so I better hurry up. But basically Kings of War Armarda has been announced by Mantic Games and it's a pretty interesting game. It looks pretty cool and that is literally just the topic of the video, so that's what we're going to have a look at. And without further ado, let's have a look at the video. Now there's an announcement trailer, but not actually just going to play the whole trailer because it would be Ronnie talking, and that's fine. If you want to go watch it, go watch it. But I just realised I did not mute that, so it came out of my speakers then. But it is what it is. So for those of you wondering what it is, it's a naval skirmish war game basically, and with some very pretty resin boats. Now the game, he does say, is played on either a 4x4 or a 6x4. And you can see what it is. So you're going to get resin boats that are flat on the bottom, so they sort of look like they're in water. You may have been familiar with this style of game. Apparently it's based on Black Seas, which is an already existing game. It's very similar in terms of rules. This one's going to be tweaked a little bit for its fantasy setting, but this kind of game has existed before, and I think Dreadfleet by Games Workshop is one example there. But Mantic are coming out with one set in the Kings of War universe, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting for quite a few people. Is there anything else to watch? No. At the end of that, no. So we'll also quickly go through the website. It's going up for pre-order on this Friday, so I don't think we're getting pricing or anything like that until Friday, but there you have it. You can see it does look beautiful on that little mat there. Now, I don't think that the mat by default comes in the box. I think that's an accessory that you have to buy basically, but there's going to be a 2-player starter box, and you can see for sure everything looks pretty damn nice. And the pre-orders are going live on Friday. Now it's called Kings of War Armarda. They did a little FAQ. Let's just very quickly try and answer that. It's coming out. It's a good question. I should have mentioned this at the start. It's coming out November 21st. So what's very interesting here is the fact that they're not doing Kickstarter. Mantic have done Kickstarters in the past, and I have no qualms with Kickstarters, but this one is basically straight to retail. And I think that's probably a good sign from Mantic. Not that it's a bad sign if you Kickstart it, but if you're confident in your games and you can go straight to retail, there's not that many companies doing that at this point. Maybe like FFG, GW, and now Mantic. There's probably others like Privateer Press and stuff like that, but it's a good sign. So in the box you're going to get, I forgot how many bolts you get in the box. Ooh, I can't remember, but I'm not sure if it's this amount. But you're going to get your bulk, you're going to get some dice and stuff like that. I don't think the mat comes with it. Obviously, once we see the pre-orders, we'll know exactly 100% sure, because it does say you can upgrade it here with luxury 4x4 gaming mat. So I don't know if there's a non-luxury mat. I don't think so, but you'll be able to just play on your kitchen table if you wanted to. You do get the tokens, the card tokens, which are going to be represent like the terrain and stuff like that, as you can see in that picture there. So that's pretty interesting. I suspect it's you probably would want to get a mat if you're going to play this kind of game like long term. You can get some acrylic stuff and some extra dice. There's a novel, which I personally don't read gaming lore. I don't really read that much, but there you have it. There's 4 factions. So I forgot what they are. It's Orcs. Well, it's the Basileans, Orcs, Dwarfs, and the Empire of Dust. Not 100% sure what the Empire of Dust is, so not going to comment on them. The other 3, pretty self-explanatory. Basileans are just humans. Now, interestingly for me, the game is between 90 and 120 minutes, so it's basically an hour and a half to 2 hours. Similar to Kings of War. It's played, as I said, on a 4x4 or a 6x4, Ronnie said in the video. Now, on a personal note, I would have liked... I'm a sucker these days for smaller games. I personally would have liked to have seen, and hopefully the game will actually scale to this, maybe like a 3x3 and, 60 minutes. That's what I personally like, but it is what it is. And they talk about how it's based on the Black Seas by Warlord, but the creator of Vanguard has gone through and sort of tweaked it a little bit. You can see the scale of the boats if you're interested in that. They do look pretty cool. I really like the little bases they put on them there. I don't know if the game is actually played with bases. I don't know if it is or it's not, but they are actually based on the table. I guess that's if you're going to have arcs and stuff like that. It sort of makes sense. Now, one minor concern is the name Armarda, which I find interesting. And obviously Armarda is, you've got the Spanish Armada and all that kind of stuff. And if you search Armarda, you don't get any, you don't really get much in terms of images and stuff like that. You don't really get much in terms of games. But for those of you familiar with this channel, you'll know we play Star Wars games a little bit. And there is Star Wars Armada. Now, obviously, like, you don't just search Armada and get what you want most of the time. You would actually search like Star Wars. What's wrong with me? Star Wars Armada. And yeah, so this is going to be the same. This is going to be Kings of War Armada. I personally would have maybe just had a slightly different name just to completely eliminate all possibilities, because Star Wars Armada is played, I think, on the 6x3 primarily, and it's spaceships, but it's the same kind of like tactical maneuvering and all that kind of stuff. So I think this will appeal to a lot of people. As I said, it's set in the Kings of War universe, which I know a lot of people enjoy. I personally keep meaning to try Vanguard at some point. It's really what I really need to do with my life, because I like little skirmish games. And Warcry I find a little bit chaotic, whereas I think Vanguard would be maybe right up my alley. And yeah, so Kings of War, Vanguard. I went off this, but let's just have another look at these, because I think they're actually worth looking at. In fact, let's have a look at the video and go a bit full screen. Like, I think the models, specifically like these, I don't want to say galleons or whatever they are, because I don't know what my naval history or anything. The Basileons I really, really like. Yeah, the dwarf ones are cool, but oh, hot damn. Hot dang it. They don't half look great, don't they? They look fantastic. I really, really think they look like sublime. Now, it's resin, so when I hear resin, I actually think good, because I think it might come in larger pieces rather than, say, like a GW kit where it's in a billion pieces, a billion bits. But yeah, looks fantastic, not going to lie. Coming out in November, I just think that's, in the wargaming sphere, that's an interesting release. Personally, like, never been that bothered about like naval combat. It's never been something that's like interested me too much, but I like the gaming side of things, so happy to give it a try. And yeah, we'll see what happens. They're going to be slowly releasing information. I doubt I will probably make a video on this unless I ended up getting the set early or something like that, because it's just going to be a slow grind of information. And the way that they announced this was that sort of slow release as well. We started seeing like teaser pics on Facebook and that kind of stuff, which was interesting in a way. Obviously, I imagine coronavirus has probably like interrupted the media marketing and whatever some ways, but there you have it. I've spoke long enough. I better get back to work, Anna, before somebody notices. So there you go. I only have half an hour, and I've spent 8 minutes yapping. So there we have it. I'm done. So now I need to go eat as well. So yeah, have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.